Hey there, beautiful souls watching this video. Let me pull you into a story that's going to grip your heart and keep you glued to your screen until the very last second. Because trust me, you're not going to want to miss a single moment of this one. Picture this, a woman who's sworn off love, her heart locked up tighter than a vault, living her quiet, predictable life in a cozy little suburb, when suddenly, a mysterious billionaire moves in next door, and everything she thought she knew about love, trust, and destiny starts to unravel. Who is this guy? Why does he seem to know things about her that no one else does? And what's the secret he's hiding that could change her life forever? That's the question that brought you here, and I promise you by the end of this video, you're going to get the answers you're craving. So grab your coffee, get comfy, and let's dive into this roller coaster of a story together. Because this isn't just any romance, it's the kind of tale that'll make you believe in love again, even if you've given up on it. You and we're going on this journey side by side, and I'm here to make sure you feel every heartbeat, every twist, and every moment of suspense. Don't even think about clicking away, because I'm about to hook you in so deep, you'll be begging to know what happens next. Let's talk about why this story is hitting you right in the feels, and why you, yes you, are going to be obsessed with finding out the truth about the billionaire next door. You know that feeling when life seems to have you stuck in a rut, when you've been hurt one too many times, and you've built walls so high no one could possibly climb them? That's exactly where our girl, Emily, is at. She's 32, a graphic designer with a knack for creating beautiful things. But when it comes to her heart, she's drawn a big, fat, do not enter sign. Maybe you've been there too. Burned by love, let down by promises, or just too tired to believe in fairy tales anymore. Emily's your girl. She's relatable, she's real, and she's us. After a brutal breakup 5 years ago, she's decided love is just a trap, a shiny illusion that leads to heartbreak. She's content with her quiet life in a small town just outside Seattle, where the biggest excitement is the local coffee shop's new pumpkin spice latte. Her days are filled with freelance projects, Netflix marathons, and chats with her best friend Mia, who's always trying to nudge her back into the dating game. But Emily? She's not having it. She's built a fortress around her heart, and no one's getting through. That is, until he shows up. The mysterious billionaire next door, Ethan Caldwell, rolls into town in a sleek black Tesla, moving into the sprawling mansion that's been empty for years. And let me tell you, this guy is the kind of enigma that makes your curiosity go wild. He's tall, effortlessly charming, with piercing blue eyes that seem to see right through you, and a smile that could melt the coldest heart. But there's something about him, something secretive, something dangerous, that makes Emily's gut tell her to stay away, even as her heart starts to betray her. You're probably wondering, why does this guy have her so rattled? What's his deal? And why can't you stop thinking about what's going to happen next? Stick with me, because I'm going to peel back the layers of this mystery, and I'm betting you'll be just as hooked as I am. Let's talk about connection for a second, because I know you're not just here for a story. You're here because you want to feel something. You want to root for someone, to get lost in their world, to maybe even see a little bit of yourself in their struggles and triumphs. That's what Emily's story is all about. She's not some perfect heroine. She's flawed, she's stubborn, and she's got baggage, just like we all do. And Ethan? He's not your typical billionaire playboy either. Sure, he's got the money, the looks, and the charm, but there's a depth to him, a past he's running from, that makes him more than just a pretty face. When these two cross paths, it's not love at first sight. It's a collision of worlds, a slow burn that's going to have you on the edge of your seat. You're going to feel Emily's hesitation, her fear of opening up, and that tiny spark of hope she's trying so hard to ignore. You're going to wonder what Ethan's hiding, why he's so drawn to her, and whether he's the answer to her dreams or the start of her worst nightmare. I'm talking to you directly now, because I know you've felt that pull before. The one that says, maybe this is worth taking a chance on. That's what this video is going to explore, and I'm not letting you go until we figure out if Emily's going to take that leap. You're invested now, aren't you? I can feel it. You're already picturing that mansion, those lingering glances, the secrets waiting to be uncovered. Don't you dare hit pause, because we're just getting started, and I'm about to drop you into the heart of this story. Now, let's set the scene a little more, because the atmosphere here is everything. Imagine a quiet tree-lined street in a small town, where the leaves are turning golden and the air smells like fall. Emily's little craftsman-style house is her sanctuary, with its cozy porch and fairy lights strung up for those late-night sketching sessions. Next door, the mansion looms like something out of a Gothic novel. Grand, mysterious, and just a little bit eerie. The moment Ethan moves in, the whole neighborhood starts buzzing. Who is this guy? Why's he here in this sleepy little town, when he could be living it up in New York or LA? The rumors fly. Some say he's a tech mogul, others whisper he's hiding from something or someone. Emily tries to ignore it all, but she can't help noticing the way Ethan seems to show up everywhere. Grabbing coffee at her favorite spot, jogging past her house at dawn, or catching her eye when she least expects it. Every encounter leaves her more confused, more intrigued, and more determined to keep her distance. But here's the thing. Ethan's not just charming, he's intentional. He remembers little details about her, like how she takes her coffee or the name of her childhood dog. It's almost like he's studied her, like he's got a reason for being in her life that goes beyond coincidence. And that, my friends, is where the mystery deepens. Why does Ethan seem to know so much about Emily? What's he hiding behind that perfect smile? And why does every moment with him make her question everything she's ever believed about love? You're feeling that itch now, aren't you? That need to know more, to unravel the puzzle. I'm right there with you, and I'm not going to leave you hanging, but you've got to stay with me, because this story's about to take a turn you won't see coming. Let's talk about why this story matters to you, because I know you're not just watching this for kicks. You're here because you love a good romance, a good mystery, and a story that makes you feel alive. Maybe you've been burned by love like Emily, or maybe you're just a hopeless romantic who believes in second chances. Either way, this video is for you. It's about the thrill of the unknown, the courage it takes to let someone in, and the magic that happens when two people are destined to cross paths. I'm going to let you in on a little secret. This isn't just about Emily and Ethan. It's about all of us, about the risks we take, the walls we build, and the moments that change us forever. You're going to see yourself in Emily's doubts, in her hopes, in her fear of getting hurt again. And you're going to be dying to know if Ethan's the real deal or if he's got a secret that'll break her heart all over again. I'm talking to you, the one who's been scrolling YouTube for something to get lost in, something to make you believe in love again. This is it. This is the 52 Ed Your Story, and I'm here to guide you through every twist and turn. But here's the deal. You've got to stick with me until the end, because I'm not giving away the big reveal just yet. I'm building the suspense, and you're going to love every second of it. So where are we at? Emily's life is about to change, whether she likes it or not. Ethan's presence is shaking up everything she thought she knew, and the more she tries to push him away, the closer he gets. One night, she's out on her porch, sketching under the stars, when Ethan shows up with a bottle of wine and a story that makes her heart race. He tells her he's not who everyone thinks he is, that he's running from something in his past, something that could put them both in danger if it catches up to him. Emily's torn. Part of her wants to run, to lock her heart back up and forget she ever met him. But another part, the part that's been buried for years, is screaming to take a chance. And then, just as she's starting to let her guard down, she finds something in his jacket pocket. A photograph, old and worn, of a woman who looks exactly like her, dated 20 years ago. Who is this woman? Why does Ethan have her picture? And what does it have to do with Emily? You're dying to know, aren't you? I can feel your heart pounding from here. You're invested, you're hooked, and you're not going anywhere until we get to the bottom of this. So don't touch that back button, don't skip ahead, because the next part of this story is going to blow your mind, and I'm not letting you miss it. Stay with me because we're about to uncover the truth about the billionaire next door, and it's going to change everything. Right where we left off, Emily's standing on her porch, her sketchbook forgotten in her lap, staring at that faded photograph she found in Ethan's jacket, a woman who could be her twin, frozen in time 20 years ago, her eyes hauntingly familiar yet impossibly distant. Her heart's pounding, her mind racing with questions she's too afraid to ask, and Ethan's watching her, his face unreadable, like he's waiting for her to make the next move. You're right there with her, aren't you? I can feel you leaning in, desperate to know what this picture means, why it's in his pocket, and what it has to do with the mysterious billionaire who's turned her quiet life upside down. Let's keep going, you and me, diving deeper into this story, because the layers of this mystery are about to get thicker, and I'm not letting you go until we've peeled back a few more. We're going to explore Emily's world, Ethan's secrets, and a few unexpected twists that'll keep you hooked, all while building that tension so you can't look away. This is the part where the plot thickens, where we meet new faces, uncover hidden truths, and start to wonder who's really pulling the strings. Stick with me, because this story's about to pull you in even deeper, and I promise, you're going to love every second of it. Emily's no stranger to surprises, but this photograph shakes her to her core. She's always been the practical one, the girl who plans her week in a color-coded calendar and avoids drama like it's a contagious disease. Growing up in a small town, She learned early on to keep her head down and her heart guarded. Her parents' messy divorce when she was 12 taught her that love was more trouble than it was worth. That's why she spent the last 5 years building a life that's safe, predictable, and solitary. Her freelance graphic design work keeps her busy. Her little house is her sanctuary, and her best friend Mia is the only one she lets close enough to see the real her. But now, with Ethan's arrival and this eerie photograph, her carefully constructed world feels like it's crumbling. She wants to confront him to demand answers, but something in his eyes, something vulnerable, almost pleading, stops her. Instead, she mumbles an excuse, shoves the photo back into his pocket, and retreats to her house, her mind a whirlwind of suspicion and curiosity. You know that feeling, don't you? When your gut's screaming one thing, but your heart's pulling you in another direction. That's where Emily's at. And it's only the beginning. As she lies awake that night, staring at the ceiling, she can't shake the image of that woman's face, or the nagging sense that Ethan's presence in her life is no accident. What she doesn't know yet is that this photograph is just the tip of the iceberg, a clue to a much bigger secret that ties her past to Ethan's in ways she can't even imagine. You're probably wondering, what's the deal with this picture? Who's the woman? And why does Ethan have it? Hold tight, because we're about to dig into some answers, or maybe just more questions, that'll keep you on the edge of your seat. Let's shift gears for a moment and talk about Ethan, because this guy is more than just a charming billionaire with a mysterious vibe. He's 38, a self-made tech mogul who built a fortune creating cutting-edge security software, but he's left that world behind, or so it seems. The rumors around town paint him as everything from a recluse to a fugitive, and the truth is, he's not doing much to clear things up. He's guarded, always choosing his words carefully, and there's a weight to him, like he's carrying a burden no one else can see. When he moved into the mansion next door, he didn't just bring his fancy car and designer suits. He brought a past that's catching up to him, whether he likes it or not. From his perspective, Emily's not just a neighbor. She's a puzzle he's been trying to solve for years, though he's not ready to tell her why. Every time he's near her, he's torn between keeping his distance and pulling her closer, because being around her feels like the first real thing he's had in a long time. But there's danger in getting too close. Not just for him, but for her. You're probably thinking, what's he running from? Is it a shady business deal, a broken heart, or something darker? I'm not going to spill all his secrets just yet, but let's just say Ethan's past is a tangled web of promises, betrayals, and a tragedy that's left him haunted. And that photograph? It's a piece of that puzzle, a relic from a time when he made a choice that changed everything. You're invested now, aren't you? You want to know what he's hiding, why he's so drawn to Emily, and whether he's her savior or her downfall. Keep watching, because we're about to introduce someone who's going to complicate things even more. Enter Mia, Emily's best friend since high school, who's got a knack for stirring up trouble and a heart of gold that makes it impossible to stay mad at her. Mia's the opposite of Emily. Bold, impulsive, and always chasing the next adventure. She's a part-time barista, part-time aspiring influencer, with a YouTube channel of her own where she posts vlogs about everything from coffee hacks to dating disasters. Mia's been trying to drag Emily out of her shell for years, and when she hears about Ethan, she's all in, ready to play matchmaker. But Mia's got her own subplot brewing, one that's going to add another layer of intrigue to this story. You see, Mia's been getting strange messages on her channel, anonymous. Comments that seem to know too much about her life, hinting at secrets she's kept even from Emily. At first, she brushes them off as creepy trolls, but when one message mentions Ethan by name, warning her to keep Emily away from him, Mia's radar goes off. Now, she's torn between her loyalty to Emily and her own curiosity about what's going on. Is someone watching them? Could it be connected to Ethan's past? Or is there another player in this game no one's noticed yet? Mia's digging is going to stir up more than she bargained for, and you're going to love watching it unfold. You're probably wondering, who's behind these messages? Are they a threat, or just a red herring? I'm not going to give it away, but let's just say Mia's about to open a door that can't be closed, and it's going to pull all three of them, Emily, Ethan, and Mia, into a web of secrets that's bigger than they realize. Now let's add another layer to this mystery, because this story's not just about romance, it's about trust, identity, and the ghosts we carry with us. Back in town, there's a local historian named Clara, a retired librarian in her 60s who's lived in this suburb her whole life. Clara's got a reputation for knowing everyone's business, and she's taken a particular interest in the mansion Ethan's moved into. According to her, that house has a history. A string of owners who've all left under strange circumstances, some even claiming it's cursed. Clara's been poking around, digging into old records, and she's found something that ties the mansion to a scandal from 2 decades ago, involving a wealthy family, a missing woman, and a cover-up that rocked the town. When Clara overhears Emily talking about the photograph at the coffee shop, her ears perk up, and she starts connecting that no one else has noticed. Could the woman in the photo be linked to that old scandal? And if so, what does it mean for Emily, who's starting to feel like she's in over her head? Clara's perspective adds a new angle to the story, one that hints at a bigger conspiracy, something that stretches beyond Emily and Ethan's personal drama. You're feeling that suspense building, aren't you? That sense that every clue is leading to something massive, something that could change everything. You're not alone. I'm right there with you, itching to know how all these pieces fit together. As the days go by, Emily's trying to keep her life normal, but Ethan's presence is like a magnet, pulling her in even when she's fighting it. Their interactions are charged, full of unspoken questions and a chemistry that's impossible to ignore. One afternoon, he invites her to the mansion for coffee, and against her better judgment, she goes. The house is stunning, all marble floors and soaring ceilings, but there's an emptiness to it, like it's more a museum than a home. Ethan's guarded, but he opens up just enough to tell her he's been running from something for years, something that cost him everything he cared about. He doesn't give details, but his words linger, heavy with regret. Emily's torn. She wants to trust him, to believe the warmth in his eyes, but that photograph is burned into her mind, and she can't shake the feeling that he's not telling her the whole truth. Meanwhile, Mia's digging deeper into those creepy messages, and Clara's uncovering records that suggest the woman in the photo might have lived in the mansion years ago, before she vanished without a trace. The tension's building, and every moment feels like it's leading to a breaking point. You're on the edge of your seat now, aren't you? You can feel the storm coming, the moment when all these secrets collide. But just as Emily's about to ask Ethan about the photograph, there's a knock at the door. A stranger, someone Ethan clearly recognizes, with a look in their eyes that screams trouble. Who is this person? What do they want? And how are they connected to the mystery that's pulling Emily's world apart? You're not going anywhere, are you? Good, because this story's about to take a turn that'll leave you speechless, and I'm not letting you miss it. The knock at Ethan's mansion door echoes like a gunshot in Emily's ears, and the air in the room shifts, thick with tension, as Ethan's face hardens in a way she's never seen before. You're right there with her, aren't you, heart racing, wondering who's standing on the other side and what kind of trouble they're bringing into this already tangled web of secrets? That stranger at the door is about to turn this story upside down, and I'm not letting you look away, because the stakes just got higher, and the twists are coming fast. Emily's already reeling from the photograph, from Ethan's cryptic hints about his past, and now this unexpected visitor is like a spark in a powder keg, threatening to blow everything apart. You and we're diving deeper into this mystery together, watching as the pieces of the puzzle start to snap into place, or maybe just scatter further. Mia's digging into those creepy messages, Clara's uncovering secrets about the mansion, and now this new player is about to shake up everything we thought we knew. The suspense is killing you, I can feel it, and I promise, this section's going to crank it up even more with a twist that'll leave your jaw on the floor. So, stay with me, because this story's heading toward a climax that's going to make you question everything, and you're not going to want to miss a single second of it. Emily's frozen, her coffee cup trembling in her hand, as Ethan strides to the door with a grim determination that makes her stomach twist. He opens it, and there stands a woman, mid-40s sharp-eyed, with a tailored coat and a smile that's more predator than friend. She introduces herself as Lauren, an old business associate, but the way Ethan's jaw clenches tells Emily there's more to it. Lauren's gaze flicks to Emily, sizing her up like she's a puzzle to be solved, and there's something unervingly familiar about her, like a shadow of the woman in the photograph. Emily's mind races. Could this be her? No, the ages don't add up, but the resemblance is uncanny, and it's enough to make her skin prickle. Lauren's all charm on the surface, dropping vague comments about Ethan's old habits and unfinished business, but her words are laced with a threat that hangs in the air. Ethan tries to brush her off, steering the conversation to neutral ground, but Lauren's not here for small talk. She mentions a name, Rebecca, and Ethan's face goes pale, like he's seen a ghost. Emily catches it, that flicker of fear, and her curiosity burns hotter. Who's Rebecca? Why does Lauren's arrival feel like a storm rolling in? And why does Emily feel like she's the one caught in the crosshairs? You're probably screaming at the screen right now, wanting answers, but hold on, because this is where things get wild. Lauren drops a bombshell. She's not just here for Ethan, she's here for Emily, claiming she's got information about her past that'll change everything. Emily laughs it off, thinking it's some kind of mind game, but Lauren's dead serious, and the look in her eyes says she's not bluffing. You're hooked, aren't you? You want to know what Lauren's got on Emily, and whether she's friend or foe. Stick with me, because this twist is just the beginning. Meanwhile, Mia's subplot is spiraling into its own kind of chaos. She's holed up in her apartment, scrolling through the anonymous messages on her YouTube channel, each one creepier than the last. The latest one chills her to the bone. Tell Emily to stay away from the mansion or she'll end up like Rebecca. Mia's no stranger to internet weirdos, but this feels personal, like someone's watching her every move. She tries to trace the sender, but the account's a dead end, just a string of numbers and letters that leads nowhere. Her influencer instincts kick in, and she starts cross-referencing the messages with local news archives, stumbling across a 20-year-old article about a woman named Rebecca who vanished after living in the mansion. The article's vague, mentioning of a prominent family, and unresolved questions, but it's enough to make Mia's blood run cold. She texts Emily, begging her to stay away from Ethan, but Emily's too caught up in the moment at the mansion to check her phone. Mia's not one to sit still, so she grabs her keys and heads to the coffee shop to track down Clara, the historian, hoping she's got more dirt on the mansion's past. You're feeling that tension building, aren't you? The way Mia's digging is like pulling a thread that could unravel everything. You're probably wondering if she's onto something, or if she's about to walk into trouble she can't handle. I'm not going to spoil it, but let's just say Mia's about to cross paths with someone who's been watching from the shadows, and it's going to complicate things in ways no one saw coming. Back at the mansion, the atmosphere's suffocating as Lauren settles into a leather armchair, her eyes never leaving Emily. She starts talking about Ethan's tech empire, how he built it from nothing, but there's a bite to her words, like she's digging at old wounds. Emily's trying to piece it together, but every question she asks gets deflected with a half-truth. Ethan's on edge, his charm replaced by a quiet intensity that makes Emily wonder what he's capable of. Then Lauren pulls out a folder, sliding it across the table toward Emily. This is about your mother, she says, and Emily's world tilts. Her mother died when she was a baby, a car accident she's only heard about in fragments from her dad, who never liked to talk about it. Emily's always felt a hole where those memories should be, but she's never had reason to question the story, until now. Lauren claims there's more to it, that her mother was tied to the same scandal that rocked the mansion 20 years ago, and that Emily's connection to Ethan isn't random. Emily's head is spinning, her heart screaming to open the folder, but her gut's telling her to run. Ethan's silent, his eyes locked on Lauren like he's calculating his next move. You're right there with Emily, aren't you? Feeling that mix of dread and curiosity, wanting to know what's in that folder but terrified of what it might mean. The twist hits harder when Lauren leans in, her voice low, and says, "You look just like her, you know. Rebecca." Emily's breath catches, the photograph flashing in her mind, and suddenly, the pieces start to align, or do they? Is Rebecca her mother? A sister? Or something else entirely? You're dying to know, I can tell, and I'm not going to let you off the hook just yet. Clara's subplot is gaining steam, adding another layer to this labyrinth of secrets. At the coffee shop, she's poring over old town records with Mia, her glasses slipping down her nose as she connects dots that have been buried for decades. Clara's found a lease agreement from the mansion, signed by a Rebecca Thornton, who lived there briefly before disappearing. The records hint at a connection to a powerful family, Ethan's family maybe, and a lawsuit that was hushed up before it could go public. Clara's not sure how Emily fits in, but the photograph Mia describes sounds like one she's seen in the town's archives, tucked away in a box of unsolved files. Clara's cautious, warning Mia not to stir up trouble, but Mia's too deep in, her influencer instincts screaming that this could be the story that blows up her channel. What neither of them knows is that their diggings caught someone's attention. A figure who's been keeping tabs on the mansion for years, someone with their own reasons for wanting the past to stay buried. You're starting to see the bigger picture, aren't you? The way these threads, Emily's past, Ethan's secrets, Mia's investigation, Clara's history, are weaving together into something massive, something dangerous. You're probably wondering who's pulling the strings, and whether anyone's going to get out of this unscathed. I'm keeping you in suspense, but I promise, the payoff's coming. The main conflict's escalating now, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Emily's standing at a crossroads, the folder in her hands, Lauren's words echoing in her head, and Ethan's silence deafening. She wants to trust him, to believe the connection she feels isn't a lie, But the photograph, Lauren's claims, and now this folder are tearing her apart. She's not just fighting for her heart anymore. She's fighting for the truth about who she is, and whether the life she's built is based on a lie. Ethan's fighting his own battle, caught between protecting Emily and facing a past he's tried to outrun. And Lauren? She's playing a game no one else understands, her motives as murky as the mansion's history. As Emily hesitates, her fingers hovering over the folder, there's a crash outside. A car speeding away, tires screeching, and Ethan bolts to the window, his face a mask of dread. Lauren doesn't flinch, just smirks, like she expected it. Emily's heart pounds as she realizes this isn't just about her and Ethan anymore. It's about something bigger, something that's been hiding in plain sight all along. You're glued to the screen, aren't you? You can feel the climax building, the moment when everything's going to collide. But just as Emily opens the folder, her eyes scanning the first page, the camera cuts to black, leaving you hanging on the edge of the biggest revelation yet. Who was in that car? What's in the folder? And how does it all tie back to Rebecca? Don't you dare click away, because the next part's going to blow your mind, and I'm not letting you miss it. The screen's gone black, but your heart's still pounding, isn't it? That folder in Emily's hands, the screech of tires outside, and Lauren's cryptic smirk have you right on the edge, desperate to know how this tangled web of secrets unravels. You've been with me through every twist, every clue, and now we're here, diving into the climax of this roller coaster story, where the truth about Ethan Rebecca tell-all photograph, and Emily's mysterious billionaire neighbor is finally going to come crashing into the open. I'm not letting you go yet, because this is the part where everything falls into place, where the questions that have been burning in your mind. Who's Rebecca? What's in that folder? Who's Lauren really? Get answered in a way that'll leave you stunned. We're wrapping up Mia's investigation, Clara's historical digging, and the dangerous game swirling around the mansion, all while delivering a final twist that'll hit you like a lightning bolt. This is the moment you've been waiting for, the payoff for every second you've invested in Emily's journey, and I promise, it's going to be unforgettable. So, stay with me, you beautiful souls, because we're about to tie up this epic romance, mystery, and drama with a conclusion that'll make you believe in love, trust your gut, and maybe even question what you thought you knew about fate. Let's dive into the heart of this story and bring it home together. Emily's fingers tremble as she opens the folder, her eyes scanning the first page. A yellowed newspaper clipping about a car accident 32 years ago, the one that supposedly killed her mother, Sarah. But the article doesn't mention a baby, no mention of Emily, and there's a handwritten note scrawled in the margin. She didn't die. Emily's world spins, her breath catching as she flips through more documents. Hospital records, a birth certificate, and a letter addressed to her father, all pointing to one impossible truth. Her mother survived the crash and vanished, leaving Emily behind. Lauren's voice cuts through the haze. Calm but piercing. Sarah was my sister. Emily. Your mother. And she was running from Ethan's family. Ethan's head snaps up, his eyes wide with shock, and Emily realizes he didn't know. Not all of it. Lauren explains that Sarah worked for Ethan's father, a ruthless tech tycoon, and discovered he was involved in illegal surveillance deals. When she threatened to expose him, he staged the accident to silence her, but she escaped, living under a new identity, Rebecca Thornton, until she disappeared for good 20 years ago, right from the mansion. The photograph Emily found was Sarah, taken when she was Rebecca, and Ethan's been carrying it since he found it in his father's files, searching for her to make amends for his family's sins. Emily's reeling, her entire life a lie, and you're right there with her, feeling the weight of this revelation. How do you process that your mother might still be out there? And what does it mean for Emily and Ethan, whose connection now feels like a thread woven by fate? You're glued to the screen, aren't you? Because this is the kind of drama that hits deep, and we're not done yet. Outside, the screeching tires were no random car. Clara's at the coffee shop, piecing together the final puzzle with Mia, when she spots a man watching them, the same one Mia saw lurking near her apartment. Clara, sharp as ever, recognizes him from old town photos. He's a fixer for Ethan's family, sent to clean up loose ends. Mia's anonymous messages weren't from a troll. They were warnings from this man, trying to scare her off before she dug too deep. Clara calls the police, and by the time the fixer peels out in his car, Mia's already sent a frantic voicemail to Emily, warning her about the danger. Back at the mansion, Ethan's processing Lauren's story, his guilt palpable. He's spent years trying to escape his father's shadow, but it's followed him here. Lauren's not just here for truth. She's been searching for Sarah, her sister, and believes Emily's resemblance to her might draw Sarah out if she's still alive. The tension's electric, And Emily's torn between anger at being a pawn in this decades-old game and a flicker of hope that her mother's out there. You're feeling that mix of heartbreak and suspense, aren't you? The way every piece, Clara's records, Mia's messages, Lauren's folder, is converging into a truth too big to ignore. But just as Emily's about to demand more from Lauren, there's a pounding at the door. Local police, tipped off by Clara, here to question Ethan about his family's ties to the fixer. You're on the edge of your seat, wondering if Ethan's going down for his father's crimes or if there's a way out of this mess. The climax hits like a tidal wave as Emily makes a split-second choice. She trusts Ethan, despite everything. She slips him the photograph, a silent signal to run, and he bolts through a back door just as the police storm in. Lauren stays calm, handing over the folder to the officers, framing it as evidence against Ethan's father, not Ethan himself. Emily's heart's in her throat, torn between protecting the man she's falling for and the truth about her mother. The police leave with the folder, promising to investigate, and Lauren pulls Emily aside, her voice soft for the first time. If Sarah's alive, she'll find you. You're her daughter. Emily's eyes well up, the weight of her mother's absence crashing down, but there's a spark of hope, too, a chance to rewrite her story. Mia and Clara arrive, breathless, filling Emily in on the fixer, who's now in custody thanks to their quick thinking. Mia's subplot wraps up as she posts a video about the ordeal, her channel blowing up with views, but she's more focused on hugging Emily, promising to help her search for Sarah. Clara, ever the historian, offers her archives, vowing to dig until every secret's uncovered. You're feeling that rush, aren't you? The way the subplots are tying together, the bad guys caught, and Emily's standing at the edge of a new chapter. But I promised you a twist, and here it comes. Brace yourself. Hours later, Emily's alone in her house, the mansion dark next door, when her phone buzzes with a text from an unknown number. I'm proud of you, Emily. I've been watching. Attached is a photo of her sketching on her porch, taken from afar, dated yesterday. Her blood runs cold as she realizes it's not from the fixer. He's in jail. The message is signed S. Emily's breath catches, her hands shaking as she stares at the screen, the truth hitting her like a freight train. Her mother's alive, and she's closer than anyone thought. You're floored, aren't you? That final twist, leaving you with goosebumps, wondering where Sarah's been, why she stayed hidden, and what happens when they finally meet. The resolution lands beautifully. Ethan's on the run but safe, texting Emily to meet him when the heat dies down, their love a slow burn that's now a promise of something real. The mansion's history is exposed, Ethan's father facing justice thanks to Lauren's evidence, and Emily's no longer the guarded girl who swore off love. She's open, hopeful, and ready to find her mother, with Mia and Clara by her side. You're tearing up a little, I bet, because this story's not just about mystery or romance. It's about second chances, about believing in love and truth, even when it hurts. The takeaway hits deep. Sometimes, the past holds the key to your future, and trusting your heart can lead you to answers you never dreamed of. You're not clicking away now, are you? This story's left its mark, and I'm betting you'll be thinking about Emily, Ethan, and Sarah long after the screen fades to black. Thank you for sticking with me, you amazing people. Now go hit that like button, share this video, and let's keep believing in love together.